Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. First trading day of the week. It's always the one time to get started, get the blood pumping. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. We were trying to get my wife to go out kayaking. It just didn't work out because the weather here was all poopy. If you can hear me, by all means, respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Another VectorVest shirt today. We got, between Ryan and I, we got a few new shirts. Always remember, you can go to the store, www.vectorvest.com/merchandise, to get any of this cool gear that we have, the cool merchandise. If you use promo code GLEN23, you get a 20% discount. Promo code GLEN with two N's, GLEN23 gives you a 20% discount. Looks like I am coming across loud and clear. Oh, the alert hit. Excellent. All right, so we got about 200 people in the room. Let's try to get it up to 300. All I need you to do, folks, is to share the live stream. Let's get people in the room. I'll do all of the work. All you need to do is just help me get them here, and I'm going to show them the power of the VectorVest program. Who put in mug shirt? That was Joey. Joey, why did you do that? Why are you trying? Are you trying to tell me we're going to give away a mug today? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Are we going?
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
All right, maybe we'll give away a mug today. Joey will come up with whatever word we got for the giveaway of the mug today. Not mug shirt. Don't start typing in stuff yet. It's not time to do that yet. Don't start typing in stuff at this time. Stop. All right. So as we look at what's going on, we did the special. I did the special presentation this week. Lola says, "Give it to me." That's not how it works, Lola. I did the special presentation this week, which was called Protecting Profits, and of course, what does the market do? Goes up some more. I still put the case out to you why I thought we needed to be protecting profits, but you know me, I'm all about taking what the market gives me. The market's giving me an opportunity to make money today, so I'm going to give you some stocks to make some money with today. But you got to stay with me for the whole presentation. I'm going to give you all of the stocks that I feel are stocks you need to be looking at, and of course, I'll be taking your stocks towards the end to look at as well. And I'm going to look at them as a possibility of you're holding these stocks and you need to be having some kind of understanding what you need to be doing with those stocks. I've increased my position in GLO by 33%. GLO and GXU. GLO and GXU. I'll keep those. I wrote them down. Marie says, "Hi, Glenn. Nice seeing with you." Well, I'm glad to be here. What time you started? I just got the notification. We just started, Amir. It starts at 12 o'clock. Rivian is another stock. All right, I'm writing that down. Don't put your stocks in yet. I'm going to give you an opportunity. All right. All my shirts have stain mugs. Hold on. What? All my shirts have stain mugs. Can you write down Nintendo? Seymour, yes. Which stock today, Patel? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a bevy of stocks. Give you a bevy of stocks to look at today. All right. All of the major indices, well, the S&P 100 is slightly down today, but notice that the market is up, but it's not going gangbusters up. All right, so I'm still of the mindset that the market is still looking toppy. What's driving the market? Fear of missing out. Really, John? A lot of people are still pushing the market higher. Market is still pushing the market higher because they were late to the game. And, that's good for us who are holding stocks. But is it the right time to be buying stocks? So, Glenn, can you write down the top 50 VST stocks? And the answer to that is no. Daniel says, "I thought you said you didn't want stocks now." So, Daniel, I'm still of the mindset personally, any stock that I take right now, and I want you guys to respond to this, any stock that I take right now is not a long-term play. That the market is still moving up. There's still a lot of FOMO pushing the market higher. There's still a lot of AI. Oil is going higher. Any stock that I take right now would be more of a short-term play. If you agree with that, type of 1. If you don't agree with that, type of 2. So, Daniel, that's how I'm going to answer your question. Thank you, Urati. That's the way I'm going to answer your question, Daniel. Any trade that I take right now is going to be more of a short short-term trade. Thank you very much, Seymour. Thank you very much. So, and there you go. Asa is right. It's definitely a trader's market. So, Daniel, I think that is the best way to answer your question. Personally, I'm not a big fan of buying stocks and telling you to hold them on right now. XOM, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of oil, though. And even with oil, I'm still short-term, big time on oil. JHF says, I'm swing trading. If you're swing trading, then you better make sure you've got good stops in place to manage those stocks, because even in a swing trade right now, the volatility is starting to pick up. So just be careful with that. Spiders, we have option trades that we use on the SPX and on Spiders. ConocoPhillips is another trade that I do like from oil perspective. SoFi, long or short, I believe SoFi is reporting earnings this week, Lima. We're going to look at that as well on my list of earnings plays this week. So do you still have Palantir or Apple? I still own Palantir. I'm not in Apple right now, but I do own Palantir and I do own XRoth. Those are my two really speculative plays. But yes, I am in Palantir and I'm still in XRoth. And from an oil play, I am right now still in WTI. So I only do that for the purposes of being transparent. I like to make sure that you guys know what I'm getting into or what I have, because I talk about a lot of stocks. I never want you to think that I'm pumping any stock for any reason. I don't have an ulterior motive. Palantir is close to 100% since my May entry. Just amazing. Thank you, VV. Listen, I love that stock over Snowflake. And I think it's a better play than Snowflake. It's less expensive than Snowflake, but the AI boom is what's pushing these. These are machine learning softwares, and that's a big part of AI. So I'm a big fan of both of those. Just got back into Palantir today. I need to check and see if I have any XRoth, says Mark. Well, I know I've got a lot of it. All right, let's get into the market timing graph. All right, let's get into the market timing graph, and there we go. Protecting profits is what we did this weekend, and the market's now hitting a new 3-month high, still in July. So is this now the new July high? Now, Mara, I'm not something, when you look at crypto moves when it moves just like that. But when it dips, you dip, we dip. And, that's if you put your hand upon my hip. So Mara or crypto is very volatile. When it's up, it's up. When it's down, it's really down. Rich girl, I'm going to look at, remember, I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at your stocks. Do not, listen. You're all about to get me triggered. Do not press me on stocks right now. I will look at them. I will. Please be patient. All right. Now, if you keep spamming me about a stock, I'm not going to look at it. All right. Just be patient with me. I got you. I got you. Coin is down from 112 to 95. And again, I still think that FTX put the bad taste in everybody's mouth. It really, really, really has. It really, really, really has. So I'm not a fan of crypto. And, when it gives you an opportunity to make it, I'll help you. I just joined a jockey club. Please let me know when it starts. It starts every day at 9 o'clock. Every day from 9 to 10:30. All right, from 9 to 10:30. All right, happy Monday to you, Jose. All right, again, you guys are putting stocks in. Just wait. All right, now I'm going to ignore your stocks. I tried to be nice about it. Now I'm going to ignore them until I ask for them. All right. Now I'm going to ignore them until I ask for them. Is this FOMO melt up? Yes. Tabula, I'm a big fan that what's driving the market, you see it right now, what's driving the market is fear of missing out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. Especially when I look at the MTI showing me that it's at levels of being overbought, the July high, all of those different things are telling me that the market is definitely more toppy than anything. Why do you need crypto in your portfolio when you can have the best stocks right here ranked by VST? I say that all the time. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Dan, the sector that's most unnoticed, remind me when we get to sectors. Let's try to find out. I didn't prepare that today, but I'll do that on the fly. Let's try to find out what sectors are most unnoticed. We will do that. All right. Richard says, thanks, Glenn, for your insights. I appreciate that. All right. So that's what the market is doing. Let's get into some news that's pushing the market. And a lot of good things today, a lot of things that we got to pay attention to. So we all know that the Fed raised interest rates, but this was one of the things that he said in his Q&A. that they're going to start dumping a lot of the long-term stuff, taking some of that stuff. Why? Because with a deficit hitting 1.39 trillion, a sobering 170% increase, traders are bracing for a $102 billion auction of Treasury bonds. They got to get the debt off, because as much debt as we have, by raising the interest rates, we're going to have to pay more back on that. So that's huge. All right, so that's going to have an effect on the market. Is set this week to begin the ramp up of issuance of longer dated securities that is likely to stretch into next year, forced by rapidly deteriorating budget deficit and soaring interest rates. Where did the soaring interest rates come from? Them. Oh, of course. For the first time since 2021, Treasury will boost its so-called quarterly refunding of longer-term treasuries to $102 billion from $96 billion. While down from the record levels hit during COVID, this is well above the pre-pandemic levels. This is likely to also see debt managers hoist regular auction sizes for securities across the yield curve, with potential exceptions for smaller bumps. Dealers will be on watch separately for an update to the upcoming buy back older treasuries. Being too heavy, shouldn't we tighten our stop loss to protect profits? Richard, that was the special presentation that we did in the VectorVest system this week, and we put it out on YouTube. So, Richard, we're right along with you, and I happen to have done the special presentation this week, so I'm right on it. But even with that being said, if the market is giving you the opportunity to buy stocks, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Now, if you're a longer-term investor and you're not comfortable in the shorter-term trades, then don't take them. That's how that works out, Richard. Then don't take them. I still think that we look toppy, that this is still climbing the wall of worry. The market's overbought, all of those things. The market's looking to all of those things. So, that goes back to the question that was asked. I thought you weren't buying stocks right now. Long term, I'm not. But short term, I'm not going to give up an opportunity to make money if the market gives me that opportunity. How about this? Fed no longer foresees a U.S. recession, and other things we learned from Powell's press conference. So, tidbits here. The Fed staff is no longer forecasting a recession. I still think that overall we're in a recession, with the exception of the job market. Banks are not aggressively tightening lending standards. The issue I have with that is that as you raise interest rates, the banks are going to have to tighten lending standards. They're going to have to. All right, because they don't want to be left out there holding the bag with the interest rates that are going to have to be paid back on the borrowed money, higher interest rates. People are going to default. All right, they're going to take it, but they're going to default if it keeps going higher. Why did Powell refuse to bite about one final hike in September? I think that this is how it's going to go. I think, and it says so in the article, that we're going to probably pause on the next decision and then raise one more time going into the end of the year. Do you agree with that? Type a yes if you agree with that. Type a no if you don't think we get any more raise hikes this year. I think we get one pause on the next decision, and we get one more interest rate hike. If you agree with that, type a 1. If you think we get no more hikes, type a 2. I want to see where your heads are at. I want to see, you know me, I love interacting with you. That's the beautiful thing about having a platform like this. William puts up a good point. No clue. And you know something? As I go through this, we're trying to forecast, in essence, what the Fed's going to do, and that's hard. And I think we've seen it more times than not. Every time we try to front run the Fed turns around and goes, not so fast, my friend. But as I look, a lot of people in the room, most people in the room, believe that I am correct. And again, this is just one man's opinion. D. Wood says, question mark. Well, I'm not sure how else I could ask the question, and I apologize for that. I do apologize for that. A couple of people, though, says, too, that he's not going to raise any more this year. Powell suggests a bar for another rate hike. Powell did show his dovish colors a bit when he said central bankers have covered a lot of ground and full effects are tightening. And this is it. Have yet to be felt. I said that when Ryan and I were looking at the live presentation when he was giving it. That's a big statement right there, that the tightening has yet to be felt. Yet and still, we are talking about, interest is getting too high. The Fed, and I did a story, the Fed still feels that the market is robust enough to handle another hike. Maybe Jerome is bluffing and will not, but more likely than you are correct. And I think interest rates will start to go down. Yes, next year, with it being an election year, but one. I don't think he does anything with cutting until next year. But you know something? The more that we bring inflation down, people are working, people have money to spend. If you look at consumer spending, it's still rising. Discretionary spending is still rising. People are still looking for jobs, and companies are willing to pay people money to get them working. If all of those three things happen or are happening, disposable income becomes a little bit more prevalent and people will spend money. And the more money they spend, it's going to start driving inflation higher. I think inflation starts going back up before he gets to the 2% level that he's looking for. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? I think inflation starts going back up again, even though he's cutting rates. I still think with those three things that I just said, I think that inflation starts going back up again before he gets to the 2%. If you agree with that, type of one. If you don't, type a two. If you agree with, it's yes, not a one, type a yes, type a yes, type a yes, type a yes. All right. That's what I think. And oil is a precursor to that. And talking about oil, look at this. Oil is a precursor to inflation. Oil on track for the biggest monthly gains in over a year. That's because Russia's cutting back. OPEC is cutting back. So with that being said, the demand is there. The demand is there, but the supply isn't. And you know something? I still haven't seen enough from this administration saying that they're buying back oil to replace the reserves. That is ludicrous. But what they did say is, well, when it gets down to about $70, that's when we're going to start replacing it. They haven't, to the point that we're still low. And I don't understand that. In my mind, I can't wrap my head around that. I can't. If it went down that low from being as high as it was, why not buy? Now, I saw that altogether in the stories that I found, they've bought about 6 million barrels back. That's it. And I understand, Marie, they created the demand for oil, and they put a lot of supply out there from the reserves to keep oil down. Gas prices are still higher than they were last year. They may be coming down, but they're still higher. Oil is in demand and the supply is drying up. Oil is going to rise. And Sherry, you're right. We are too low in the reserves. And I don't understand that we had an opportunity when it pulled back as much as it did to start putting back in, but we didn't. All right, so let's go. That's on the oil side. So I'm going to put a stock in there in my watch list. Let me get to my watch list. Let's get to my watch list and go look at the big news stocks. We're going to put in USO. I'm going to put in two stocks, USO and WTI. I am of the mindset that oil is a good play right now. Both of them are up today. One is an ETF, all right, with an RT at 1.21. WTI, relative value, relative safety, both below one. But look at that. Both of those are in uptrends. So those are my two oil plays that I want you to keep your eyes on right now. Marie says, I paid $3.65 for gas. I'm traveling to New Jersey this morning. My wife's on her way to New York this morning as well. So anybody got any questions in regards to oil? All right. How about this? How many of you are currently trading some semblance of oil in your portfolios right now? Type of one. How many of you are staying away from oil right now? Type of two. All right. I think that oil is a good play right now. You always want to know, hey, what stocks are you looking at? You know, I want to know what stocks to buy. This starts right here. A lot of people, not a lot, but some people are saying no. And I'm all right with that. This is a no judgment zone. This is no judgment at all. Again, this is interaction. This, in my mind, I'm looking at right here. What's the oil ETF right here? USO. It's got a relative value and a relative safety, both at one. So that's my ETF. I like that to play the whole space. But Amir, which oil stock do you like? Right here, WTI. WTI, it is undervalued. It's not fundamentally sound though, but it is in an uptrend. It's got an earnings growth negative 5%, but I like that. Occidental, you know something? I like that. It's got earnings this week too. And I'll look at SJT. SJT pays out a nice dividend. All right, but Occidental Petroleum's got earnings this week. Also undervalued, good upside potential, good earnings growth. SJT, that's a beautiful looking stock with a price to value, undervalued. SJT, very inexpensive as compared to a lot of my other oil stocks. Earnings growth 42%. Natural gas, Eugene, is hit or miss. Natural gas is hit or miss. And if you're going to look at natural gas, it's a trade. One day I would play boil, and next day I would pay cold, K-O-L-D. I'll put both of those in there from an energy perspective, boil and cold. And when one is up, the other is down. I think that if you're going to play natural gas, that's the way to do it. Does that make sense, Eugene? That's my opinion in regards to natural gas. All right. It's a trade, and it's such a volatile trade. You pay whichever one is rising. You look early in the morning, you see whichever one is rising, you jump on that stock in the morning. For then, again, I'm ignoring those stocks. I said that I'm not ready to look at stocks. I'm going to give you an opportunity. All right. So from the oil play, from the natural gas play, here's my stocks. If I'm looking at these stocks, which do I like the most? Looking at the list, I'm looking at, from an RT perspective, which ones have the biggest upside? WTO, USO, and Occidental Petroleum. San Juan Basin's got a relative timing slightly above one, but those are my three. I do like those from the oil perspective. What's up, Jake? All right, so any other questions on oil before we move on to the next story? All right, any other PBR? No, John, I've got a lot of stocks that I can add, but I'm not going to add any more, John. So I appreciate the PBR and put it out there, but I don't want to overload this watch list. I probably have with just oil and natural gas stocks. All right, CVX is another one. ConocoPhillips, COP is another one. There's a lot of great oil plays out here, but from a perspective of looking at what's really moving, I like these RTs. All right. Let's get into the next story. Let's go to the next story. Next story is about Amazon. Now, Amazon and Apple earnings ahead this week and in jobs report. So there's several different stocks in here. I'm not in Apple right now, nor am I in Amazon, but I've got an Amazon story. I'm going to move this over real quick. We'll come back to that. I want to look at what stocks are in here. Futures are higher, blah, 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 blah. As July turns to August, traders are waiting for earnings this week. AMD and QCOM are reporting this week. I'm not going to put those into my watch list because I have them in a different watch list for earnings. Amazon and Apple report as a result. So I'm going to put Amazon and Apple in here. All right. This is several different stories. All right. Amazon and Apple. Okay. We're going to put those in here and then we're going to come back. What else is in the story? Jobs. We'll look at jobs later this week. Halt on coin. Look at this. See, and again, this is why I'm not a fan of looking at crypto. The U.S. Secretary, the SEC, requested that Coinbase cease trading in all digital tokens except for Bitcoin prior to filing a lawsuit against the cryptocurrency exchange, according to the Financial Times. This is why right now crypto is just so volatile, back and forth. But this is an SEC thing. This is definitely an SEC thing. So I'm going to put coin in the list real quick. I'm going to put coin in the list just this quick. And I'm probably just going to coin this section of the presentation. The stocks to keep your eyes on. Stocks and earnings to keep your eyes on. I did that for the benefit of Joey. And the last one, Walmart. I got a story on Walmart. Further cemented its interest in Flipkart. All right, through a $1.4 billion purchase of shares with a major investor in the Indian e-commerce group. Walmart bought the New York-based hedge fund Tiger Global's remaining shares of Flipkart. The move boosts Walmart's exposure to Flipkart at a time when the Arkansas-based company is looking to expand its presence in digital commerce space. Who else did I just do a story on recently in the digital commerce space? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember what story I recently did with a company that got taken over but was specifically doing it to get into the digital commerce space, and it was SEC approved? How many? I want to see how many of you pay attention. So we're going to put Walmart in here. There you go. Way to go, Mark. But what company? It was T0 was the currency. What was the company? Does anybody remember? Mark, do you remember? So T0 was the currency, but it was tied to what company, Mark? You guys don't watch the stuff. See, folks, we keep you abreast of so much great stuff. It was Bed, there you go, not BlackRock, rich girl. It was Bed Bath & Beyond and Overstock. Absolutely. So now, a lot of you guys made some money on that T0 play. If you did, type a 1. Your Uncle Glenn put you onto that. But now I'm going to put Walmart. I don't know if Flipkart is tracked by VectorVest. Probably is not. But I am going to add Walmart to this story. As again, these are stocks that I need you guys to pay attention on. News-based stocks that I want you guys to pay attention to. All right. I think that was the last one in that story. Yep, that was the last one in that story. All right. So now let's go talk about those stocks. You want to know what stocks to look at? So Coin is getting sort of like a cease and desist on cryptocurrency with the exception of Bitcoin, but nice move up today. What else was in that story? Amazon and Apple, because they're reporting this week. Look at relative safeties on both of them. I like the relative safety on Apple a little bit more than Amazon, but they're both above 1. Also, Apple's got a CI above 1. What was my other story in this? Walmart. Let's highlight that one as well. And let's move over. Earnings growth on Coin. This is why I'm not a fan of crypto. They're not making money. They may have days where they're up, but they're not making money. So, people always ask me, what do you think about crypto? I don't. I still think that it's a volatile space. FTX screwed it up for a lot of people who are even interested and for people who are holding it. We still are going through a crypto winter. All right, when does that end? I don't know. And a lot of people say, well, it's rebounded. Rebounded from what? How many of you, how about this? How many of you are willing to be in crypto right now? Type a 1. If you want to stay far away from it, type a 2. All right, so let's ask that question. How many of you are willing to be in crypto right now? Type a 1. How many of you want to stay away from crypto? Type a 2. And I'm going to tell you that everyone who's typing a 1 is a more aggressive trader. Confirm that. For everyone who's typing a 1, are you more of an aggressive trader? Type a yes. For those of you who are typing 1, are you more of an aggressive trader? Type a 1. So that's the first thing that I go to when I'm looking at anybody willing to touch crypto right now. You are most likely a more aggressive trader. For a lot of you who are typing in 2s, I'm with you. Long term, I don't like it. Not yet. Not yet. Not into the metaverse, which is going to take a long time to happen. All right, so when I'm looking at Apple, do I like Apple and Amazon? Both of them I like. They both make money. I would love to see them have double-digit earnings growth, but you know something? They both have their hands in so much stuff that, the margins are probably low. They're probably making a ton of money, but the margins are probably low. Marie says, I made 100% on Coin. And you know something? Again, I noticed that a lot of the people who typed, that they were willing to buy crypto, that they did tell me that they were more aggressive traders. All right. Yep, Unc, it's 1 because I'm an aggressive AF. I ain't telling you what AF means. You ain't getting me taken out of here, Brandon. Right, Joey? It's provocative. What song is that, Joey? Joey, this is what Joey's saying. Joey is like, all right. I don't invest in crypto because there's no earnings. And John, I'm proving that right now. All right, and Walmart, this Flipkart thing, this is going to be a very interesting play. I don't know if we've got Flipkart. I doubt we do, and we don't. I'm gonna go see if I can find it for you though. This Flipkart thing could be something. Where's my space for that research? Where's my it's somewhere. It's somewhere. There it is. Cryptocurrencies. Let's go see if I can find Flipkart. I wonder if I can help you out with that as well. Flip. I don't see it. Flipkart. All right, let's go check. Ooh, this page has been created automatically using on-chain. I don't have a lot of information on it. I don't have a lot of information on it. It's something I'm going to look at, though. It's something that I'm going to look at. Flipkart is an Indian stock. Thank you, Vikram. I don't want to try to say that whole name. I will jack that name up. All right, so is that why I cannot see it? Aha! I'm going to do some research. If I can find a story on Flipkart, I am going to see if I can bring it to you. All right, but I think with them buying a big share of this could have some kind of an effect on Walmart. All right, so this segment that I just looked at right now are stocks. I'm going to call these stocks on my radar. Coin, not so much. All right, I'm going to be bearish on Coin, but on Apple and Amazon, because of upcoming earnings, I think that they beat. The only issue I'm going to have is what the forward guidance is going to be. All right, that's where my dilemma is going to come in. What's going to be the forward guidance? And for Apple, it's going to be based upon what the iPhone sales are, what the sales are. So we'll see what the forward guidance is. Walmart, I want you to keep your eye on it. I think that just like Bed Bath & Beyond or Overstock and T0 move that a little bit, I'm going to see if that Flipkart's going to have some kind of a move with Walmart. All right, anybody have any questions? Vivek says, Flipkart is an Indian commerce listed in BSE. I'm going to see if I can get some news on it, though. All right, Sarah says, Roaring Kitty bought Tune. He bought GameStop, $2 per share, so it's going to be one to watch. I got something, not GameStop, but I got something on AMC today. Anybody have any questions on these stocks that are on my radar? All right, you guys want stocks? I'm trying to provide them for you. Anybody got any questions about these stocks that are on my radar? I think that was kind of cool. If I'm holding a stock in earnings like Apple, amen, both I did puts in case the stock, and that's smart. No, Flipkart is not currently publicly listed company. Thank you, Eugene. The Indian e-commerce company is headquartered in Bangalore and incorporated in Singapore as a private limited company. All right, thank you, Eugene. That answers my question about being able to do a story on it. All right, so it's not something you can buy like the T0 was. But I still think that the news might have a positive move or a positive aspect on Walmart. We'll see. Is the August curse real? I don't know, Lima. I don't know. Will you hold WTI over earnings? And the answer to that is, Richard, based upon what I think of what's going on with earnings, is yes. I'm still going to hold WTI through earnings. That's not something that I normally do, but I'm really that bullish on oil. All right, which is going to move up the most and faster? Hold on. You trying to make me put myself in a situation where I can't get out. I am so not listening to you, Mark. All right. So let's get to the next story. Next story is going to be, big story right here. U.S. trucking firm Yellow shuts ops to file for bankruptcy. Now, I got an issue with this. All right? I got an issue with this. As, post-COVID, stuff's moving, is it because of issues with supply? I don't know. The cash strap, there it is. The cash strap U.S. trucking company Yellow Corp has ceased operations, filing for bankruptcy after failing to reorganize and refinance over $1 billion in debt. That's a lot of money in debt. So what that means is, why are they failing? They're failing because management didn't come through. All right. John says Biden will bail out Yellow. If he does that, man, that's wrong. That's not how this is supposed to work. This is a company, and they fell due to their own company operations. All right. So Dan says we're close to a global margin. I'm not going down that path, Dan. I'm not. So the thing about this is, look at this. Earlier this month, Yellow averted a threatened strike by 22,000 Teamsters. Yellow has historically proven that it could not manage itself despite billions of dollars in worker concessions and hundreds of millions in bailout funding from the federal government. I don't, something, you may be right that the administration bails them out, but that's not how that, and there you go. D Wood, it says it right here. They have been bailed out. They can't do it again. So you know what I got? I'm going to put Yellow in. So that's a big story. We're going to put Yellow in. But you know something? I'm going to show you what companies could benefit and pick up more business. SAIA, comma, Old Dominion Freight, ODFL, comma, JB Hunt, JBHT, comma, and ARCB. These are the companies in that space. You want more stocks to get into? These are the companies that are in that space. And look at where they all sit. In my list, all these trucking companies due to, we got to move material. We got to get goods from place to place. This is the place to do it. Now, the shipping companies, on the other hand, are not doing nearly as well because China is all screwed up. China is the biggest buyer of goods all over the world. So the shipping companies are under some pressure. But we got to still move goods within the United States across the roadways. Notice that the majority of these stocks are at the top. Now, they're all in the red today, but look at their all buy recommendations. 1, 2, 3 of them have CIs above 1. So if I'm looking for the best ones to look at, I'm looking at Saya, Old Dominion, and ARC. JB Hunt's just not got a CI above 1. And look at the move on Yellow. People are in it, and I'm not telling you to get into it. Just don't do it. They're going into going into bankruptcy. All right, so if I'm looking at this space, these trucking companies, these are my 3 that I'd rather keep your eyes on. Notice that Saya and Old Dominion, fundamentally sound. ARC Best makes money, but not good upside potential. JB Hunt makes money, but all of them make money. All of them are making money. And look at the VSTs on them. If I'm looking at this space, Yellow filing for bankruptcy. I've got 4 stocks with my 2 best ones being Saya and Old Dominion. All right, notice that they are both overvalued too. But those are my 2 out of that story. Anybody got any questions? Anybody? Wow, Glenn knows the stocks in the same industry group. Wow, years of experience behind those moves. All right. Brian says, Glenn, do you host a derby? I do host a derby primarily on Fridays. If there's no questions, John says, Mark Norton, he sings pretty good too. Joey says his gold game stinks though. Wow. All right. If there's no questions, my golf game. Joey doesn't know how to play golf. Talk about my golf game. Joey's got no idea how to play golf. Not even a little bit. All right. Let's get to the next story.
Like Tiger Woods.
You're like Tiger Woods in your head, or you're like Tiger Woods on PlayStation, or in your case, Xbox. All right, next company. This is interesting. The Disney magic will return. It's time to buy the stock. Now, this comes from Barron's. I am of the mindset that they brought Iger back to overcome a lot of the PR stuff that was going on. I did a video after they brought Iger back. I did a video along the same lines. I think that Disney was going to start to rebound. But Disney and the governor of Florida are going back and forth. That's no good for either one of them. DeSantis is trying to run for president, and Disney's just getting bombarded by all of this stuff and yada, 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 yada. Is it really in the buy zone? All right. Is it really in the buy zone? So I took this story. And I didn't want to read a whole lot of it. I didn't want to be swayed in one direction or another. I think that that the magic will return, but when, I don't know. So let's go take a look at the stock. Let's go take a look at Disney. And let's go see if it really is in the buy zone. First off, where is it in my list? Towards the bottom. All right, look at that towards the bottom. It's overvalued, fundamentally not sound. All right, fundamentally not sound. Are they making money? Let's go see. Yes, they are, and they're growing at a clip of 8%. They're just 2% off of double-digit earnings growth. But fundamentally not sound, and a lot of it is because they've been beaten up with all of this arguing that's going on within the state of Florida. But do I think that the stock is in the buy zone? I'm going to right-click on the stock and view Disney on a graph. All right, let's go look at it on a 3-month graph. I'm going to take off the NPI and put on where's mine? GETJR. I'm going to put it on swing, looking at the 20-day exponential moving average. What's Disney doing? From its high back here in May, the stock has been trending lower. I'm going to draw a freehand line. It's been trending lower. Ooh, but look, most recently, what is it doing? There's a high. I could use that high, but I'm going to be true to the highs. Found a level. It is now above that downtrend. Could it be on the rise? You know what else I do like about it? As the stock's price has been going down, yes, their earnings was at what, 8? No, what was the earnings? The earnings was sitting at, let me move this over a little bit. Earnings sitting at 4.32. That's a lot higher than where it was 3 months ago. I've got a 20-day exponential moving average. What's Disney doing? Now going above that 20-day exponential moving average. It is grossly overvalued. The volume is pretty steady. I think Disney is a stock that you need to keep your eyes on. And I think it's going to take some time for Iger to step in and change the public relations view of Disney. But I do like just recently going above the 20-day exponential moving average. I'm not telling you to go buy it, but I am telling you to keep your eye on it. Now, John says Disney's committing suicide, pricing themselves out of the market. You know what's interesting about that, John, is that I'm looking at everywhere you look, people are still spending gobs of money to go to Disney. Disney is still on a lot of people's bucket lists, and people are willing to pay the exorbitant prices to go to the park. Then you look at the streaming services. You know, you look at Disney and Marvel on that, that's still huge. You know, more Marvel stuff is coming out. I think that they're putting themselves in a position where they're going to continue to grow their earnings. So that's where I look. That's where I stand on that. Uncheck value and show the price action better. I can do that. Let's go take that off. It's even worse. Thank you, Mark. It's even worse. But look at that price decline. Look at that bounce off support. Look at that recently going above the 20-day. All I'm telling you is to keep your eye on the stock. All right. Charbel says sometimes this is the best time to buy. In my opinion, what happened to my chat overlay? There it is. In my opinion, I want you guys to keep your eyes on it. That's all I want you to do. All right. So the Disney story says it's pretty much in the buy zone. I'm showing you from analysis. It's not fundamentally sound, but I think Iger is going to try to do what he's got to do to pull them out of the doldrums. Is it an MPI play? No, I don't think it was. Where's my MPI layout? I don't think it's an MPI play either. Not yet. Not yet. It's not an MPI play. That would be more confirmation, Chris. That would be more confirmation if it did become an MPI play, but it's not. All right, but it's not. All right. So that's my Disney story and where it stands. Anybody, any questions on Disney? Any questions on Disney? Disney is near the low and could go, huh? Yeah. It could go lower if the market turns down, John. I'm not pulling you away from that. I totally understand that. Things took a turn when they decided to prioritize radical extreme. No politics. No politics. Iger having problems with his actors, writers, etc. That could affect Disney adversely. If both the actors and the writers, which they are on strike, all I'm telling you is to keep your eye on it. All right, so let's get into my next story. Next story, AMC. Look at this. AMC posts its best admissions revenue week in the 103-year, this was on July 31st. This was today, where Barbenheimer phenomenon continues for second straight week. With that, with AMC, we've also got IMAX. IMAX profit helped by the blockbusters. This is has anybody gone to see Barbie Type of 1? Has anybody gone to see Barbie Type of 1? I'm not going to go see it. Hey, Joey, did you take your girls to go see it?
We saw it.
Did you like it?
I did not.
Okay, that's good. Anybody else out there saw Barbie? If you did, type a 1. If you didn't, type a 2. I'm typing a 2. I did. Wayne said 0. All right, Wayne said 0. All right, so I'm going to look at both AMC. Let's go look at both AMC and IMAX. All right, IMAX right there. Let's go put them in. Again, the movies are still pushing them higher. I'm not a fan of AMC. It is still a meme stock. I'm not a big fan of it. Let's go find it. Where's it at? Both of them towards the bottom of my list. All right, AMC, way overvalued. IMAX, slightly overvalued. Neither one of these stocks are fundamentally sound. Whereas AMC still not making money, still growing their earnings at double-digit growth. IMAX doing better. IMAX doing better, and they are making money. They are doing better, and they're making money. Is it enough for me to want to go buy these stocks, even though it's a story? And I don't know how long the Barbenheimer is going to hold. It's a fad thing right now. AMC is all over the place. AMC is all over the place. Let's go change my graph layouts. I'm not a fan of AMC. It is above the 20-day exponential moving average, though. That's a positive sign. Earnings is growing, but the earnings growth is not there. No dividend. All right, let's go look at IMAX. IMAX sounds kind of the same. I love the earnings per share growing in there as well. So the companies, both of them are making money. Both of them are making money, but I think that this is news driven. Right now, I think that these are news driven. You saw Indiana Jones, the Marty. I haven't seen it yet. Mattel is another stock in this space. I'll add that to the whole Barbenheimer thing. MAT, Mattel. So there's 3 stocks now in that space. The 2 that we were talking about, which were AMC and IMAX. Where's Mattel? Towards the middle. Fundamentally not sound, overvalued. That's a toy company. So AMC, IMAX, Mattel more so for the Barbie movie, but AMC and IMAX, because of Barbie and Oppenheimer, they're on the rise. AMC is up 6% today. IMAX is down a little bit. I'm not a fan. I think it's just news driven. All right, I think it's just news driven. So, and even on Mattel, overvalued. It's got, and looking at the 3 stocks, Mattel does have an RT above 1. Go see it, Glenn. It's no stop action. You know something? I'm gonna probably go see the Indiana Jones movie. I am gonna do that. John says, no way, not for kids. So Joey, did you think it was not for kids when you went to go see Barbie?
It's got a couple of innuendos in there, but I think the overall story is probably not. But still Barbie, you know.
All right. Couple of other stories, real quick. Actually. I don't want I don't want that one anymore. Earnings for this week. Here's the earnings that are coming out this week. I made a list of the bigger names that are here, but I wanted to show you something in regards to earnings. I went out to FactSet. FactSet says overall, so far, 51% of the companies in the S&P have reported actual earnings results. 80% have reported actual earnings per shares above estimates, which is above the 5-year average of 77% and above the 10-year average of 73%. In aggregate, companies are reporting earnings Companies are reporting earnings that are 5.9% above estimates, which is below the 5-year average of 8.4% and below the 10-year average of 6.4%. Why did I want to bring this up? Because I think that it's important to know that his earnings are very important. They're going down. Why? Because of the high inflation and the high interest rates. Keep that in mind. That's another sign that the market, I got you. There's another sign. That's another sign that be wary of what's going on. Remember, earnings is the engine that drives the market higher. If earnings are starting to wane or start to fall aggregately, that's a point of concern. So why are we worried about a major pullback? Charbel, this is another reason why I'm worried about another major pullback. How many of you have been watching the earnings and watching the forward guidance? A lot of forward guidance is not positive. Do you see that? Yes or no? Do you see that? They are beating earnings estimate because absolutely they reduced their expectations on earnings. This is a problem, folks, and this is another reason why I'm telling you to be careful. This is another reason why I'm telling you to be careful. The market's going to do what the market's going to do, but this is the insight that you need to have a better understanding of what's going on in the market. This is what makes us different from everybody else out there on YouTube. This right here is what makes us different. This is the stuff that you need to know. All right, so with the earnings, let's go look at my watch list. We'll come back to the big news again. Let's go look at my watch list of earnings this week. Where am I more comfortable as far as earnings is concerned? I'm going to sort this list by relative safety. The higher the relative safety, the higher the potential of the stock to meet or exceed earnings expectations. It's got nothing to do with forward guidance, though. I got no indicator for forward guidance. But if I'm looking at the companies, the bigger companies that are on the list, the companies that have the highest relative safeties are the companies that I'm more confident that they will beat earnings. But again, it's the forward guidance that's going to move the stock one way or the other. Which ones have the least possibility of I'm looking at Norwegian. Norwegian's moving because people are trying to get out from under, being under quarantine for so long. People are traveling. I just did something on live stream with traveling stocks. Moderna, well, COVID's over. What was big mover for them? Vaccine. Occidental Petroleum. That's because this has been beaten up so much. I like this place in the oil space, though. I do, but where's the relative safety? How much are they growing their earnings? It's 13%. Look at Moderna, negative. Norwegian, though, even though it's got a relative safety below 1, they're making money. I like that. And they're talking about record sales as far as people going to travel. I'm a big fan of CCJ because I'm a big fan of uranium. I think that we're getting more into, from another alternative perspective for clean energy, nuclear generators, nuclear power plants. CCJ, I'm a fan of. Are they making money? CCJ, 37% growing their earnings. Positive earnings, and third growing it by 37%. When I look at Pfizer, though, Pfizer's right in line with Moderna, not making money. They're not growing their earnings. Why? No more vaccine. Avis Budget Card, 2% earnings growth, positive earnings. Cheniere Energy, in that energy space, 26% earnings growth rate. So all I want you to do is you look at these companies from an earnings perspective. Nothing's a sell. All of them are hold or buys. Everything this week that's coming out to the bigger names are holds and buys. Here's Apple. Apple earnings growth rate of only 5%. I'd love to see it better than that, but it's not. The safety is there. It's in an uptrend. So as I sorted this list by relative safety, these are the stocks that I'm a bit more confident that they're going to beat earnings more so than not. Messenger RNA is great opportunities. William, I don't disagree with that for mRNA, but their biggest bolster or move in price was because of the COVID vaccines. All right. Any questions in regards to my earnings this week? All right. I put a lot of the big names in the list just so that I can give you some insight as to how I feel based upon our indicator relative safety. How's your Thursday night DJ gig working out? I'm loving it. I got a solid group of regulars that come out. And I've been told that people are looking forward to coming out on Thursdays for us to do music bingo. They love it. So that's a positive thing. I love doing it, and they love it. They love it. It's a haul for me to get there from where I live too. All right, so those are all my stocks for this week. From the big news, from the earnings this week. Now we're going to go into the realm of looking at your stocks. Start typing your stocks in. I wrote down some stocks. GLO, GXU. GXU is not there. Rivian, RIVN, comma, NTDOY, comma, XOM, comma, ConocoPhillips, comma, PAMW, comma, UPST, comma, 9, comma, ACLS, comma, IONQ, comma, LAZR, comma, wow, I'm just going down the list. If it passes, I can't keep up today. I'm just running. ON, comma, HLIT, comma, NEO. Interesting on a NEO play, Marie. Microsoft, comma, TQQQ, comma, Palantir. Love that stock. Comma, NVDY, comma, Zim. Interesting on Zim. For someone currently on Amazon and Apple, would you buy more or sell or hold? I wouldn't buy any more. I wouldn't buy, that's my opinion. If you're asking my opinion, I wouldn't be buying any more. I'd be willing to tighten stops and actually be willing to take some off the table and let the other half ride. NGL, comma, TGLS, that's a good play. It's a tough play right now. YPF is another good play, but a tough play right now. TDW, even though it's an oil play. SLDP, comma, thank you for doing a great job, Glenn. I'm a VectorVest subscriber since 2009. Thank you for that, Dan. PBR and ONCY. All right, that's all my. I put a lot of stocks in here today. How many stocks did I put? How many stocks? Got 32 stocks, which is the best pick to buy today and swing trade through earnings. There's a lot of variables for me to answer that question. All right, fine. The swing trade. Let's go see what stock is moving up the most. I'm going to answer that. So 9 is up, 8%. Undervalued, good upside potential. Do I want to buy it? Nope. I can't say that. Do I want to buy? All right, fine. Let me do it this way. Let's go look at CI, stocks that have the potential to go up without being pulled back down a lot. High CI and moving up. Does that make sense, JHF? High CI that's moving up. Let's go see if I like this one. Stock, view the stock graph. I think that's a good way of looking at your question. 3 months. I like that. Bottom left, top right. A little bit of selling pressure on big volume. Ooh, trying to swing trade it though. Look at the earnings per share. Let's go see if I can find another one, JHF. What's going up today? 4. CI at 1.42. Overvalued, way overvalued. I don't know if I want to swing that. View the stock graph. I'm not sure I really want to swing that. That's a great question to ask by JHF. Ooh, but look at that. So JHF, would I swing this? Yep. But I want you to be sure and understand what's going on in the market and that the market's direction will affect about 80% of the stocks in the market. We're still looking toppy. But bottom left, top right, what don't I like about it? What don't I like about it? Earnings per share is falling. Could I swing it? Yes. Would I use the 20-day exponential moving average as a way to get out of this stock? Yes. But I do like the bottom left, the top right. JHF, does that answer your question? I know EPS does look poopy, but now if I'm just playing price action from a swing trade, it looks good. I'd be careful with it, though. Let's go see if I can find you one more, JHF. A high CI that's moving up today. Let's look at Technoglass. Undervalued, up 2.86%. Nice high CI. Let's go view the stock graph. Let's go to 3-month graph. No. Not touching that. I love the earnings per share. It's not even above the 20-day. So JHF, remember you were asking me, or anybody was asking me about anything I want to hold long term? I love to see eyes on these and which ones that are moving up, but it's tough right now. It is way crazy tough. Mark says, I wouldn't swing trade anything with bad earnings per share. Those are for the day trading. And I don't disagree with you. But I wanted to look at high CI. I figured that would put you in a good position of stocks that were resilient against long and lengthy price declines. And what's moving up? Put those two together. That's a good combination to try to hone in on stocks to swing trade. I'm showing you that it's tough to try to do that right now. All right, that adds more confidence to the fact that I would really not swing trade. This is more of a trader's market. All right, let's go look at these stocks from a VST perspective. How much time? We're going to do this real quick. I'm going to graph all of these. We're going to do this real quick. 3 months, and I may not look at all of them. ACLS, I like it. Owns Semiconductor, I like it. TDW, I like it. PTEN, the stock's going up. Watch earnings. NGL, a little bit volatile. Be careful with that. RMBS in a channel. I wouldn't, if you own it, I probably wouldn't add more to it, but it's in a channel. LPG looks good. LPG, transportation ship, that looks good. I like it. PBR, petroleum. I do like that it's above the 20-day, but it's at a level of resistance. Be careful. Real quick, TGLS we looked at. 9, above the 20-day, but coming off of the 3-month high and earnings is falling. I wouldn't mind taking some off the table. YPF, same kind of scenario. Below the 20-day, but at a level of support, but in a channel. I'd like it back above the 20-day. TQQQ, that's the bullish side of the Qs. Moving sideways right now, but still above the 20-day. I'd leave it alone. PANW, look at the earnings per share, looks good, but sitting in a channel, even though it's above the 20-day. Rivian, above the 20-day, leveling out. Love the earnings per share. Let's go to Nintendo. I'm not feeling that at all. There's nothing good about it. Earnings is falling and it's in a channel and the bars are small. I'm not feeling that. Palantir, nice move on Palantir, new 3-month high and earnings is going up. I like it. Apple, coming into earnings, look at that. Above the 20-day, buy the whole time. I like it. It is grossly overvalued though. ConocoPhillips, petroleum play, like the move, don't like the earnings. But that makes sense because it's gotten beaten up. Starting to come back up now. It's going to take a little bit for that to come back up. Price action, though, the stock is going up. IMQ, I like the price move. I don't like the earnings. Hitting a new 3-month high and above the 20-day exponential moving average. I do like the price move. I'd be careful because of earnings. NEO, same thing. Like the price move. Beautiful volume. There's a lot of commitment to that buying. Watch the earnings. Earnings are flattened out. All right, real quick. Same thing with this petroleum. I'd like to see it break above level of resistance. Chipotle, how is this stock so freaking expensive? It's starting to fade the gap. That's a positive sign, though. And earnings looks good. I'd wait, though, until it gets above the 20-day. Upstart looks good. Earnings are starting to rise again after it fell. Price action looks good. No. So I got to say about that. Microsoft, I'd like to see it get back above the 20-day. It is going bottom left, top right, but I needed to go back above. Earnings looks good too. SLDP, a little bit more volatile in the move, above the 20-day. Earnings is just flat. I can find you a better stock. No. That's just, no. It's crazy volatile. Global close-end, I do like the bounce off support coming up to the 3-month high and above the 20-day. That's not a bad looking play. Amazon going into earnings, a little bit of a sideways move, but love the earnings. And the last one is Zim Shipping Company. I like the move, but I don't like the earnings. All right, with all of that, we went through your stocks pretty quickly today, but I covered them. Joey says mug is the keyword. Joey's gonna have to pick them. I forgot all about that. I totally forgot all about that. All right, so Joey's gonna pick. You gotta type mug in the room. Joey said mug's in the room. Any other time you're typing in mug at the wrong time. Right now, if you want to win, type mug in the room. Good gravy. Do you guys pay attention? Sigh. Does anyone else see the negative divergence in the Qs in the daily? I see a lot. Listen. Rep Jefferson's, there's a lot that I could talk about, but I got a short amount of time to talk about a lot of stuff. No, John, we're not talking politics now. So yes, I have noticed that. To answer your question, my friend, I have noticed that. All right. Joey's going to tell me who won the mug in a second. He's going to tell me who won the mug in a second.
Trying to get everybody a chance to get in.
All right. Hey,
hey,
did you guys like today? Yes or no? Did you like type of yes or no? Did you guys like today? We talked about a lot of stuff, but we segmented it out. We looked at the news. We looked at the stock. We took the questions. All right. Did you like today's presentation today? No. Hold on. No. Cigar won. I got to give it to him, though, yes? Listen, I took it away from Marty. Has Cigar ever won before?
I don't know, but he was the one that reminded me to make sure we did it.
And he won?
And then he won.
Sorry. All right. It looks like you guys did like the presentation today. That's good. I think Joey and I talked about that, the way that we're doing the presentation now, so that it works out a little better. All right. Marty says, I did not play. I'm sorry, Marty. I think Marty hates me. All right. Cigar, you got to send an email to connect@vectorvest.com. Send an email there. Connect @vectorvest.com. Tabula, in regards to that, we're going to respect his wishes as we reach out to family. All right. We're gonna respect his wishes as we reach out to family. All right. So I just wanted to address that. All right. With that being said, Mark says, good job, guys. This market is crazy. I know, but we're going to put some semblance around what's going on. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in Long Island, William. She's traveling for work to Long Island. All right. With that being, you can't say all that. I can only say that. Thank you, Drew. All right. Remember, once this is up on the channel, please share it. Please share it. Everybody share it with somebody. I got to go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii and the Bahamas because of Mark. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until next time, folks.